In this video, I'll be giving you the best guide for the most escape alive Easter egg on the Black Ops 4 Zombies map, Blood of the Dead. The elixirs I would recommend running are Temporal Gift, which makes power-ups last longer and is active for 5 minutes, Equipment, which refills your grenade slot instantly, Talking About Regeneration, which constantly regenerates your health while moving, and lastly, Undead Man Walking, which slows the zombies down to walking speed and lasts a minute. For perks, I would suggest running Stamina Up to make you traverse the map faster, Quick Revive, which regens your health quicker, Dying Wish, which will make you invincible for a short time after taking full damage, and in your modifier slot, run Winter's Wail because it's basically Widow's Wine on roids when placed in your tonic slot. For the remainder of your loadout, I would equip the Mog 12 starting weapon, the Path of Sorrow specialist weapon, and it honestly doesn't matter which grenades you run because you won't be using them. Also, if you're playing as Richtofen, I highly suggest interacting with Stuhlinger's cryopod at the start of the game. Doing so will allow you to hear Samuel in your head throughout the Easter egg, and it greatly enhances your experience. Once you've loaded in, make your way to the powerhouse as quickly as possible and activate the power. Then make your way across the catwalk and into the prison. You now have to buy your way through the map down to Building 64 that's next to the docks to activate a second power switch. You can now start working on things that are necessary to complete the main Easter egg. The first of said things is a Spectral Shield, which can be crafted at any workbench around the map, but I would suggest putting it above Cell Block B. The first part for the shield is the Warden's Key and can be collected by killing the first Warden to spawn into the map. This happens either by hitting him with a grenade on the catwalk run or by turning on the power in Building 64. The second part is the Essence and can be found either on the shock box in the library, on the shock box in Times Square, or on the shock box on Michigan Avenue. The last part for the shield is the door, which can be found on the stairs of the Citadel tunnels, next to the skulls at the bottom of the Citadel tunnels, or in China Alley outside of Building 64. Once you have all the parts, you can craft the Spectral Shield. We're going to quickly turn on Pack-a-Punch, which can be done by using the key of your shield to take zombie souls until you have enough for a charged blast. Spectral Blast the shock box on the roof, and the Pack-a-Punch will now be spawned in. The next thing we'll need to collect that's necessary for the main Easter egg is the Hell's Retriever. You can get this by feeding each Cerberus head 6 zombies at each location. The first Cerberus is in the New Industries building, the second is in Cell Block B, and the third is outside of the Warden's house. When the Cerberus heads are fed, you can use the fast travel inside of the Warden's house to pick up the Hell's Retriever. Next up, we're acquiring the Spoon. This can easily be done by using Spectral Vision on your shield inside of the Warden's office to reveal 3 numbers. Remember those 3 numbers and input them into the number pad at the bottom of the Citadel tunnels by shocking the box and then putting the numbers in. Quickly run over to the docks area and shoot the shock box with your shield. This will move the crane over the crate and you can throw your Hell's Retriever at it to knock the Spoon out of the net. Now we're going to upgrade the Spectral Shield. This isn't necessary but extremely helpful for later steps of the Easter egg. All you have to do to upgrade your shield is buy the mystery box out of its location, and when the lock shows up, use your key to drain it and the front of the lock will turn blue. Quickly throw your Hell's Retriever at the lock and it will upgrade your shield. You can now carry 4 shield blasts instead of 2. Next, you're going to want to get the Blundergat and upgrade it to the Magmagat. This isn't required, but again, it really helps out. To get the base Blundergat, either pull it out of the mystery box or get the free one by throwing your retriever at 5 ghost skulls around the map. The first skull is outside of Richtofen's lab on the stair ledge. The next is inside the cell next to the library. Third is outside of the map on the right side of the roof at the Pack-a-Punch location. The fourth skull is on the ledge of the docks to the left of the broken down PhD machine. And the last skull is out on the telephone pole that's just above the Warden's office. Once all 5 skulls are collected, you can pick up the free Blundergat from the Warden's desk. To upgrade it to the Magmagat, take it into the Warden's house and place it in the fireplace. You now have to get zombie kills to charge up 3 candles above the fireplace. After the third is charged, you can pick up the tempered Blundergat. You now have to quickly run to the New Industries building while touching the Blundergat at 6 different barrels in the way so the flame doesn't go out. The first barrel is on the right side of the Warden's house, the second is on Michigan Avenue, the third is next to the entrance to the prison, the fourth is right before you get to the catwalk, the fifth is right after the catwalk, and the final barrel is next to the doors of the New Industries. Once there, place the Blundergat inside of the compactor and 2 ghosts will turn it into the Magmagat. Once you've gotten the Spoon and at least the base version of the Blundergat, you'll need to swap out your Hell's Retriever for the Monkey Bombs. You can either get these out of the mystery box or do the free side quest for them. To get the free Monkey Bombs, take a level 2 specialist weapon to the bottom of Cell Block B. Get 20 kills with a level 2 specialist weapon to charge up the Monkey Bomb statue underneath the cell block. When full, the monkey will turn red and you can shoot it with a bullet weapon to teleport it. Return to Richtofen's lab and at the table you can pick up the Monkey Bombs. It's now time to start the first step of the main Easter egg. Go to the second floor of the Warden's house and knife the wall with your Spoon, which will cause it to become scraped up. You now have to shoot the number pad and enter the number 666 in order to spawn a special Warden. Lead the Warden to the top of the stairs and throw a Monkey Bomb down next to the scratched wall. If done correctly, the Warden will slam down on the ground and despawn, revealing a hidden room behind the wall. Pick up the orb on the table to the left and then interact with the dead body sitting in the chair to reveal the dead Warden. On your way out of the Warden's house, go back through the fast travel and pick up the Hell's Retriever again. Go back to Richtofen's lab and place the orb on the map of the island, then interact with the Kronorium on the other side of the room. A ghost bird will then spawn, take the Kronorium and hide in a random spot around the map that you can only see through Spectral Vision. The closer you get to the bird with Spectral Vision, the louder his squawking will become. When you find the bird, you have to Spirit Blast it in order to move it to its next location. Only 1 bird will spawn per round, so after you shoot it, move on to the next round. The first bird will always be found in the actual prison itself. The second and third bird will be in random places, but if you stand near the gondola and look out at the bay at the start of the round, you will see the bird fly in the direction of where he's hiding at. The fourth and final bird will be found under the prison, in the Citadel tunnels, or down towards the docks and can be heard but not seen using Spectral Vision. In order to see the bird, you'll have to spawn in a zombie blood using the number pad. Input the code 872 to spawn the zombie blood and activate Temporal Gift before picking it up. Once you see the bird in zombie blood mode, quickly throw your retriever at it in order to pick up the Kronorium. Take the Kronorium to the Warden's house and place it on the dead Warden's lap. The wind will begin to flip the pages repeatedly until you interact with it. Once it stops, look through it with your Spectral Vision and it will reveal a code. Remember the code and input it into the number pad in the tunnels. This will cause the lighthouse to shine its light on a random location around the map. Find where the light is shining, look through the Spectral Vision, and blast the portal you see to cause it to become visible in the real world. You'll now have to complete one of 5 random challenges to collect red orbs to be placed on the map of the island, similarly to the one that you got from the Warden's office earlier. The first challenge I got was the Morse Code step, which is probably the hardest one, but it's not as bad as you think. There are 2 ways of completing this. The first is looking through the Spectral Vision outside of the map at 3 buoys. There's one by the gondola, one at the entrance to the catwalk towards spawn, and one directly outside of the spawn building. Each buoy will flash 5 times and will either be a short beep or a longer beep. Write down the order of the beeps for each buoy location. On screen now is the cheat sheet translating the Morse code beeps into a number. Take the sum of each of your numbers and add them together to get one final number. Now go into the locked cage inside of the Warden's office. On the table in the cage, you can now input your final number into the machine. Again, look at the cheat sheet and whatever number you have will be broken down into 5 lines of Morse code. Hold it down for 1 second to input a short beep and 3 seconds to input a long beep. If you input a short beep and the Warden laughs, it's incorrect and you'll need to input a long beep instead. Once you input your numbers correctly, you'll hear your character say that it's correct and you can move on to the second part of the challenge. Make your way to the infirmary, kill a zombie, and quickly look through your Spectral Vision and you'll see a ghost. Spirit blast the ghost, get a few kills, and after it's charged up, it'll begin to follow you. Escort it to the gondola and into the portal that you spirit blasted down at the docks. If it stops at any point, simply kill more zombies next to it and it'll start moving again. Once it's at the portal, it'll drop a red orb and go into the portal. Take the orb to Richtofen's lab, place it on the map, and head back to the Warden's office for your next challenge. Again, stop the Kronorium's pages from turning and look through Spectral Vision for another code. Input the code into the number pad and locate the next portal by looking at where the lighthouse is pointed. The next challenge I had was Simon Says. Blast the portal inside of the powerhouse at spawn and then make your way down to building 64 by the docks. Interact with the sparking generator and the lights in the room will go off. A random panel on the wall will have its lights flash on it. Interact with the panel and 2 more lights will flash. Interact with those 2 new panels in the order that they flashed in and then 3 will begin to flash. Repeat this until you interact with 5 panels in a row correctly. Once you've gotten through the round of 5, 3 more lights will flash randomly and stay on for about 10 seconds. Run to each of the lights and write down the symbol that's on the panel. You should have 3 symbols, 1 for each of the lights that were shining. Once you have the symbols, pick up the punch card that's on the table near China Alley and head back out to Richtofen's lab. And put the keycard into the white computer on the right of the top of the lab. Doing so will turn on all of the computer screens in the room. Interact with the 3 symbols that you wrote down from the Simon Says step, and it will change the symbols to 3 new ones. Once again, write those symbols down and head to the power room outside of New Industries. The panels on the wall will have the symbols on them, and you need to find the 3 that you just got from the computer screens. Once you know where your 3 symbols are, look through the Spectral Vision to reveal a ghost. When the ghost is in front of one of your symbols, shoot it with Spirit Blast, and it will pull the lever above your symbol. Repeat when the ghost is at all 3 of your symbols, and after he pulls the last lever, he'll drop the red orb that you can pick up and place on the map inside of the laboratory. Head back to the Warden's house, interact with the Kronorium, get another code and input it into the number pad. The lighthouse will stop at a new spot and you can look through your Spectral Vision to blast another portal to start the next challenge. My portal was on Michigan Avenue and this one requires you to get a zombie kill inside of the cafeteria. After the zombie is killed, Spectral blast the ghost that spawns and protect him as he travels around the prison to the portal outside of the Warden's office. To complete this easily, shoot the Magmagat at the ground to distract the zombies so they don't damage the ghost. You can also do damage to the ghost, so be careful not to hit it with your bullets or your specialist weapon. When it reaches the portal, it'll go through and leave another orb behind, and you can place it on the map inside of Richtofen's laboratory. It's time for another challenge, so interact with the Kronorium, get your code, input the number into the number pad, and find your next portal. Mine happened to be in the New Industries building. Make sure you shock the portal, then head to the library. Kill a zombie and it'll spawn a ghost you need to blast with your Spectral Vision. As soon as you blast him, shock him with your key for as long as it allows you to. You'll need to repeat this about 4 more times until the ghost turns completely red and you can see him without using your shield. The entire time you're doing this, zombies will be spawning and the ghost will be traveling throughout the prison and back to the New Industries building, so I would suggest popping an undead man walking at some point during this step to make sure that you get the ghost to turn red. Once he's red, run back to the New Industries building and wait for the ghost to get there. When he's entering the building, turn on the trap in the middle of the room and it will kill the ghost. This will drop another orb that you can pick up and place on the map in the lab. Head back to the Warden's house, interact with the Kronorium to get your numbers, input it into the number pad, and we're on to the 5th and final challenge. In my game, the portal was inside of the showers room. Blast the portal and interact with the ghost that comes out of it. He'll give you a banjo and a ring of fire will spawn somewhere in the room. You need to stand inside of the ring and get zombie kills until it moves to another spot in the room. Standing outside of the ring will cause damage to you, so be sure to stay inside of the ring. Repeat this 3 times, and after the 3rd ring dissolves, give the banjo back to the ghost and pick up the final red orb from the ground. Take it back to the lab and place it on the map. You're now about to enter the boss fight, so I would suggest making sure you have a fresh shield, fully charged specialist, full ammo, and fully upgraded guns. Truthfully, this is one of the easiest boss fights, so as long as you have the Magmagat, you'll be okay, but it's always nice to be prepared just in case. enemies. Interact with the Warden to place the summoning key down on him. An in-game cutscene will play and you'll be put into a cell by the Warden. After some dialogue and time spent in prison, Icarus the bird will blast the shock box outside of your cell. When the gate opens, pick up your weapons from the sack towards the end of the hallway near the library. You now have to run all the way back to the west grounds. The Warden will be captured by the ghost that you've helped in Icarus, and they'll carry him into the sky and drop another orb on the way up. Place the orb on the map and it will reveal another cryopod and an alternate exit to the lab. Go up the exit and all players must interact with the garage door at the same time. Once on the other side, you'll be fighting all of the enemy types on the map. Use the Magmagat to continuously take out Wardens. After a few Warden kills, a max ammo, carpenter, and a red ring will spawn. Stand inside of the red ring and shoot the 3 floating orbs with your weapons. When the orbs break, quickly shoot the top of the dark device with 2 spirit blasts. You have to repeat the same step again, and after the second time you put 2 spirit blasts into the top of the device, whoever is playing as Richtofen will have to get into the device. The other 3 characters will have to survive, as the person who's playing as Richtofen will get another cutscene of him coming out of the cryopod in the lab. Permis Richtofen must now head up to the boss fight arena, and as soon as he opens the gate, he'll pull a red crystal out and cleanse the land. If it doesn't happen right away, kill the big Warden and the cutscene will begin to play. You've now completed the Most Escape Alive Easter egg. If you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe by checking out the playlist in the description that has more easy to follow Easter egg guides in it.